Henry's got...
How you doing, Matthias?
All right, I suppose. Depends how you look at it. I'm well. Still alive, as you can see. Which can't be taken for granted after everything that happened to me. But I'm still grieving for your hunger. I keep asking myself if it's just that I'm still here. Well, she... Well, you know.
Johanka is fine. Maybe better off than here. She'll have a peaceful life in the convent, serving God.
I know. It's just... I just regret that she's not here with us. I'd like to see her again.
Yeah, so would I. So, what are you going to do now, Matthias?
I wish I knew. For now, I'll work in the monastery grounds. Maybe even on the construction, until they throw me out.
What? They don't want to let you stay here?
Well, it seems the abbot isn't happy about so many lay people right outside the monastery walls. Brother Nicodemus is trying to put in a word for me and Adela, but the abbot can be very obstinate. He wasn't happy about Johanka being here at all. And then, with all that happened after...
I understand. So what will you do if you have to leave?
I really don't know. I'll stay, until harvest at least. There'll be plenty of work. And then... I'll see. Maybe I can find a job somewhere around here. But more likely I'll go away to other parts, if I can save some money. After all that's happened here, I'll probably be better off leaving this province far behind me, if I don't end up a vagrant.
You ought to at least get a place for the winter, though. I can't promise anything, but if the right moment comes up, I'll put in a word for you with Sir Radzik. He might need someone in the stables or something.
I'd really appreciate that, Henry. Thanks. For everything.
Take care. what's come crawling out from under some rock. God. You're dead. Go weak to the knees, have you? You're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Hey! Well then. You're going to cry. Christ. Mother of God. Hey, who's there? Well, look here. Why would someone throw that away?
Heal.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Sir Divish sent me to find you, and it looks like I arrived just in time.
God's truth.
I'm Henry of Scalith.
My name is Marius Belek, Master Locator. Sir Divish sent me here to survey the area.
Well, the outlaws are out of the way, so we can go and report to him, right?
Not just yet. Those bastards caught me as soon as I arrived, and so far all I've seen is the inside of the tent they tied me up in. I still have a job to do. Come along with me, if you like. We'll report to Sir Divish afterwards.
I'll escort you then. At least I can make sure you don't get caught again.
What? Are there more of those bandits around?
No, I just meant... Never mind. Should we get going?
This is a good spot for the rat house. Every village must have one. It'll be nice and prominent here. It's on the hillside, so the foundations will stay dry. It can have its own little square, close to the church. There's no better site here. The church is still standing. Good. Good. Whoever built it did a good job. Considering how old it is and what it's been through recently, it stood up well. It won't be an easy job to fix it, but it can be done. Timber alone won't do, though. We could fit at least one tradesman's shop here. Maybe a baker's? There's quite a lot of space here. It just needs clearing thoroughly. Then we could even fit stables here. Main approach road and stream. This bridge needs reinforcing. It won't last long in this condition. I reckon it would make sense to build a weir over the stream down there. The water here is clean and can be used to supply the village until we sink a well. It's a good thing we have this stream. No point in building without a water source. Supplies and trade will flow through here.
Look what I've got. You'll love.
I won't have to bring in any timber from elsewhere. Stone foundations. They'll come in handy, and we're close to the stream. Lots of space here. There's a well here already. All the better. Big space, clean water, close to the village green. A good site for an inn. That's that then. The most essential surveying is done.
So, Master Locator, ready to start building?
There's a long way to go before that. The few ruins that are left are basically beyond repair. It's all overgrown with brush.
Oh dear.
We'll have to get it all cleared before we can start rebuilding it.
So it is possible to rebuild everything?
Yes, absolutely.
But building a whole village is no small enterprise.
We'll need timber, lots of it, which isn't a problem in the middle of the woods, of course. We'll have to hire wage labor to begin with. Quite a lot of men. I think we should get started without delay. There's a lot of work involved, but it'll be well worth the effort. I can just imagine it. The church will dominate the whole settlement.
Oh, that's good news. When will you inform Sir Divis?
Why wait? I'll head to Talmberg right away. But would you keep an eye on things here in the meantime? It would be rather embarrassing to run into more bandits when I return with Sir Divish.
No problem. I'll be right here.
It shouldn't take us long. My lord, welcome to Pribyslavitz. That is to say, welcome back to Pribyslavitz after all these years. Well, what's left of it.
Not to worry, Marius. I'm glad to be back in my old hamlet. Although, it seems to have aged about as gracefully as I have over the years.
I beg to differ, sir. It's quite dilapidated, unlike your good self, but at least it's safe now. Thanks in part to Henry here, who also saved me from a predicament that cost me valuable time. Who knows? If it hadn't been for him, we might not even be talking now.
Well, lad, in the end, you managed things in your own way, I see. Just as you said you would.
I did my best, sir. They didn't look all that tough, so I put a bit of pressure on them and they took to their heels.
You were outnumbered and you scared them off?
Ah, they were greenhorns. I think they may have been a bit intimidated by me.
Let's hope they don't try anything like that again.
I'm quite sure they won't, sir.
let's get down to the matter in hand, shall we? What state is Pribyslavitz in?
Sir, in my official capacity as locator, I am gratified to inform you that the hamlet of Pribyslavitz may be renewed. And indeed it offers prospects of considerable expansion beyond its former limits.
Splendid. Finally, some good news for this province.
And badly needed, too.
So, what have you discovered so far? I want to know all the details.
There's a stream here, and a well, right in the middle of the village.
Yes, and there are abundant woods around. Clearing them will provide both extra land and timber supplies that we can use right away.
Right now, I believe we're standing on the village green, aren't we?
The future green, that is. The village centre will comprise at least 6 large buildings to begin with. We can't fit any more than that here, so there will be other buildings away from the square. In particular, more extensive structures.
I'm glad to hear it. I never expected you'd find so much space here in the middle of the woods. The building work we're about to engage in is only the first part of my plan. Later, we'll clear more forest for agricultural land and build more farmhouses. But for now, we'll have to focus on more sensible goals.
As you wish, my lord.
We had a scout around.
We conducted a basic survey, from which we can make a preliminary outline of the parcels. I already have in my head an initial plan of what can be built where.
We should certainly have a church. I'd like to preserve the existing one.
That should present no serious obstacles. The building is in much better condition than we anticipated. But extensive reconstruction will be required.
That's to be expected.
A village isn't a village without villagers. You'll need new subjects. Even preparing the ground for a building will need lots of labour. Where can we find so many people, sir?
You sound skeptical, lad. But it's a good question. I've already given it some thought. I've agreed with Radzik and Hanish that we shall make an announcement in Rattay to invite people to move here and help with the construction, which will bring them many benefits, but also obligations. In addition, I expect the prospects of a new home will appeal to your former Skalitz neighbors more than a makeshift camp by the castle walls.
They'll be delighted, sir.
A splendid solution, sir. I've also been concerned about how to bring settlers here, but now it seems there will be no shortage of new inhabitants after all.
Rebuilding a whole village must cost a king's ransom, though.
It's true it won't come cheap. Before the tradesmen settle here and start producing and trading, it will be necessary to invest a certain amount of capital.
A certain amount? How much exactly?
I wouldn't venture to state a precise amount at this point, but I expect it will come to some thousands, even tens of thousands of groschen.
Well, that much? I hope you're good at haggling.
We shall, of course, attempt to procure everything at the best possible price, but raising a settlement from the ashes you see around you is a costly business. Nevertheless, I can assure you, my lord, that if all goes well, the investment shall all come back to you with interest.
I hope I shall live to enjoy it, Master Marius. It seems things are finally looking up. We routed the bandits in battle, and Henry took care of the remnants. When can we get to work?
Right away, as far as I'm concerned. All we need is people and the necessary funds. And we'll need someone to keep order, at least in the interim.
True. I'll leave you some of my men.
If I may, I would recommend quickly appointing a bailiff to take responsibility for the renewal of the village, its coffers and its citizens.
True. First things first. Since you understand these matters best, you shall take charge of the land parceling and building works. You'll be available to the bailiff, but answerable directly to me.
I'd be honored, sir. Thank you.
And, as regards the office of bailiff, what about you, Henry?
Yes, sir?
You've proven yourself well. You've demonstrated that you're capable of solving problems, and you command the respect of your former Skalitz neighbors.
Well, I'm not so sure.
And you're also capable of maintaining law and order.
I must concur.
So, let us expedite matters. Henry, I hereby appoint you to the office of bailiff of the hamlet of Pribyslavitz, in my domain.
My lord, it's a great honor. Thank you.
You will oversee the initial renewal and administration of the village that will set the ground for further development. But don't imagine it'll be a bed of roses, lad. Being bailiff doesn't mean you can do whatever you like. If you don't treat the settlers rightly, I'll soon find out and relieve you of your office. Besides, we can't spare a single groschen from the Talmberg coffers now, with the province in chaos. So, you'll have to cover the cost for the building work from your own purse.
Me? But Marius said it would cost a fortune.
True, but from what I hear, you know how to get your hands on coin enough. So, I expect you'll manage it just fine.
I'd like to know who's been spreading such gossip.
And I am assigning you certain specific tasks. You must ensure the rebuilding of the church. That means complete reconstruction, wall paintings, and a new altar. See to it that in the future, the village will be capable of supporting a certain number of people. For that, you will need to ensure the construction of essential artisans' buildings. And ultimately, the village must produce sufficient earnings to fund further expansion.
But, sir, I've never done...
I understand your concerns, but you'll be handsomely rewarded. I shall grant you the proceeds from the whole village for the first 5 years, and you have my permission to use the surrounding woods and land as you see fit.
Well, that's, I mean... Are you sure I'm the right man for the job, sir? It's a lot of responsibility.
As you said yourself, Henry, it's a great honor. Besides, you won't be alone in it. I'll assist you and supervise the construction work.
Phew. All right, then.
So, we're agreed. You'll give this document to the Rete bailiff. He'll make the announcement to invite settlers, which should ensure enough people to begin work. At the same time, your official appointment as bailiff will be announced.
I don't know what to say, sir.
I'm sure you won't disappoint me, Henry. And now I must get back to my duties at Talmberg. Send word when everything is prepared.
Certainly, sir. Have a safe journey.
Farewell, sir.
Andrew the innkeeper sent me.
Did he now? That's all very well, but I don't know if you're a...
So how can I prove it to you?
For a start, you can tell me why a lad like you...
Simple. I love to hunt, but I haven't a drop of blue blood in me. So what else can I do?
True. The damn law won't let a man do what's natural. Anyway, I have to check you out first. See if...
I'm listening.
To begin with, I need to know if you're at home in the woods. And if you're any kind of hunter, bring me some deer antlers, and then we'll talk.
Easy. Will you teach me?
Certainly.
I'm interested.
All right. Now,
Will you teach me?
certainly.
I'd like to.
All right. Now,
Will you teach me?
certainly.
I want to.
You can't become a...
Well, I hear you're.
Certainly.
I want to achieve.
You can't become a...
Well,
I was beginning to worry you'd got lost in...
no need to worry. I would have come back sooner, but it seemed a long way to go.
Well, well, so you're keen on hunting. So give me the trophy. And the
First task.
Well, there was only one to begin.
I see. So what do you want me to do next? Kill a dragon?
Hilarious. Better list. Nicholas the Huntsman has a very fine old hunting horn. But we'd like Nicholas better without any horn.
Where does he keep the horn?
Sometimes he carries it with him. It is a badge of office, after all. But I don't... Best to go at night. Come back to me.
Right.
Glad to hear it.
Greetings.
God save you.
I'd like you to show...
Sir,
I want to...
you can't be...
Well,
Good luck.
I have that horn for you.
I'm looking forward to seeing the smile white.
Last time you told me that if I...
Let's put it this way. Our old man's had it in for Master Huntsman Nicholas for years.
Why does he have it in for him?
There's more than one reason. But the heart of it is, Nicholas...
That's
You're telling me.
What's he trying to achieve?
If you want to know, ask around the village what they think of the Master Huntsman. The old man is... Soon enough, the gossip will reach...
So, what...
We're just getting something big ready. We'll make camp in the north of Broder Woods. There's a concealed glade.
All right, I'll meet you. Will you teach?
Certainly.
I want to... You can't... Well...
God save.
I'd like to...
So,
Get myself...
God be with you.
So you're the new fellow. Lucas said you know a thing or two. Question is, can we trust you?
Would I be here if you didn't?
Probably not. Did Lucas tell you who's in charge? Well, speak of the devil. Started to worry you weren't coming.
It couldn't be helped, Goathead. I had to get a document written up, and the nearest priest I can trust is in Yanowitz.
You're writing your will already, sir.
Who is this?
Henry. Lukesh brought him. He nicked Nicholas's hunting horn for us.
Then I'm sure we'll get on like a house on fire. Is everyone here?
Everyone. Except that fool Radan, the charcoal burner. No one's seen hide nor hair of him.
We can't delay. If he's not back by evening, we go without him. So, Henry, tell me about yourself.
What do you want to know?
Why you came here. Where you come from. You know how it goes. I want to know your story.
What if I don't have one?
Everyone has a story. Leastways, everyone in this clearing does.
Sir! Sir! The Thornburgers are coming!
Hannikin Hare of Zalush, I arrest you in the name of Lord Divish of Talnberg.
The Master Huntsman is not coming?
The Master Huntsman arrests poachers, not murderers. Will you come quietly?
What do you say, man?
The answer to my prayer. Just what I wanted to vent my...
Go weak at the knees.
God! Enjoy this. Fuck! Some bastard must have betrayed us! Quickly, we'll hide in the mine shaft. There's something lying there, isn't there? So you're the shooter.
You'll get it.
Now you're in deep. Come here, little. You're dead. You call that combat?
have that. Ah! Last. What is that? What's it you soon? So, we all right?
What have we got here?
Yuck.
Well, look what's come crawling out from under some rock. Fucker. Take that.
Hey!
There's the last. Look what I've got.
It seems things have started to move faster than I expected. Thank you, Henry. Without you, I probably wouldn't have saved my skin.
You're welcome. I know how it feels to be up to your neck in shit with no one to pull you out.
I'm sorry you've been dragged into my mess. It shouldn't be.
What's this all about?
It's complicated. And I understand that it might be hard to believe, but today...
I've no idea what you're talking...
Let me introduce myself. My name is Hannigan Hare.
The nobleman?
My house became sadly impoverished. And I became the master huntsman at Talmberg.
Gamekeeper turned poacher. I see.
Nicholas gave me no choice.
What happened to your family?
My father lost his influential friends and the money with them. After his death, I inherited only... There was nothing for it but to sell off all our possessions. See,
that sounds a rough deal.
Believe it or not, I never cared for the life of a nobleman. I spent my...
What happened between you and Nicholas?
I was falsely accused of murder. Henry of Lipa visited Talmberg, and the morning after the banquet in his honor, one of his men was found dead.
And didn't they have any cause to suspect you? I know Sir Hanush of Lipa. Was Sir Henry his father?
Indeed. He was on his way to Rattay to take charge.
I know Sir Hanush of Lipa. Was Sir Henry his father?
Indeed. He was on his way to Rattay to take charge of the fiefdom for young Sir Hans Capon.
Why did you get into a fight with him?
The fall of the House of Zalush was the work of the Lords of Lipa, and that fellow took great delight in reminding me of it.
And then what?
Nicholas began to pull strings. Several people came forward as witnesses to say they saw me with the fellow later that night.
Why would he have done that?
He wanted rid of me. We were both in love with the same lass, you see, and Margaret is his wife today. But back then, there was no question which of the two of us would win her. I was the huntsman of noble blood, and Nicholas was just plain Nick. Her father's preference was clear.
Do you know who did kill the man?
No. He was found in a ditch with his neck broken. He could have tripped and fallen, all on his own.
And that never occurred to anyone?
It did. But some people swore they'd seen us jostling on the drawbridge. Of course, that was Nicholas's work.
What did Margaret think of you?
She took me for a fool. She only had eyes for Nicholas, but I didn't see it then. In the end, she could have saved me.
How?
She could have told the truth. After the banquet, I was with her. But when they asked her, she said she hadn't seen me that night.
How did you get out of it?
What leads you to imagine I did?
Your head's still on your shoulders, so you must have escaped somehow.
I'm alive. But my name and my family's name has been dragged through the mud.
If you say so.
Well, it's true. I had
An interesting story.
I can't complain of boredom. The question is, will anyone believe me?
And how did it happen?
It's a long story.
I've got time to listen.
All right. But for you to understand, I have to start from the beginning. I was born as Hanakin Hare of Zalut. My house became sadly impoverished. And I became the master huntsman at...
Gamekeeper turned poacher. I see.
Nicholas gave me no choice.
What happened between you and Nicholas?
I was falsely accused of murder. Henry of Lipa visited Talmberg, and the morning after the banquet in his honor, one of his men...
And didn't they have any cause to suspect you? And then what?
Nicholas began to pull strings. Several people came forward as witnesses to say they saw...
Why would he have done that?
He wanted rid of me. We were both in love with the same lass, you see, and Margaret. But back then, there was no question which of the two of us would win her. I was the huntsman of noble blood, and Nicholas was...
How did you get out of it?
What leads you to imagine I did?
Your head's still on your shoulders, so you must have escaped somehow.
I'm alive. But my name and my family's name has been dragged through the mud. For me, that's worse than the sentence waiting for me.
If you say so. But you still managed...
Well, it's true. I had the good fortune.
From the Talmberg dungeon? That can't be done, can it?
It's not too hard when the lord of the castle himself helps you escape.
So, Divish set you free? From his own dungeon?
He couldn't offend Henry, so he had to lock me up. But he trusted me. We were friends, after all. He led me out of the castle in the night. I was given a good horse, and in a couple of days I was in Silesia. And that was the end of it. At least until now.
Even if I believed you, there's no proof. It all happened a long time ago.
I know. But if I didn't believe in my own innocence, I'd have to be crazy to have done what I did.
Why?
If I truly were guilty, why would I risk coming back to Bohemia? I could have died in peace as a rich man in the pay of the Jagiellonians. Only a fool would come back.
Nicholas took everything you had, regardless of your guilt or innocence. I'd say you have more than enough cause to want revenge.
I'm not like him. Anyway, you're right. I don't have any proof of my innocence. All I can give you is my word.
This is one of the most insane stories I've heard lately.
That doesn't surprise me.
But something tells me you're speaking the truth, Hanakin Hare.
Thank you. I didn't expect to find anyone who believed me.
Trust me, after what I've seen lately, not much could surprise me.
So, what are you up to?
Working out how to get Nicholas's confession.
And how would you do that exactly?
Simple. I'll have him sign it. I've had the priest in Janowitz write me up a parchment. When Nicholas signs it, he'll admit to everything written down there.
How do you want to force him to do that?
He won't have a choice, or rather he will have, between his wife Margaret and the job of huntsman.
I'm not following this at all.
It's plain enough. We'll kidnap Margaret. That's to say, you'll kidnap Margaret while I distract Nicholas. If he wants to see her again, he won't have any choice.
Kidnapping? That doesn't seem like much of a way to clear your name.
No? Take a look around you, Henry. Sigismund kidnapped Wenceslas, his own brother. And Divish was abducted by Medek of Waldeck.
True, but Sigismund and Medek kidnapped the men they wanted to bargain with. You're thinking of taking a man's wife who's done nothing to deserve it.
And what of it? Those others did it for money or power. I'm doing it to redeem my honor. And since you mentioned Margaret, she's not all that innocent. I could have swung because of her.
But that confession's just a scrap of parchment with writing on it. What will happen to him after that?
That scrap of parchment is for Sir Divish and the provincial court. But we'll be generous to Nicholas and let him leave in peace before we deliver the confession to Talmberg.
So Nicholas will go free, and you'll clear your name?
Hopefully.
So what do I need to do?
That horn you picked up from Nicholas should help us. I'm sure Nicholas will recognize its sound from quite far off. I'll lure him out of the lodge at dawn.
And I'm meant to kidnap his wife while he's gone?
Of course it would be best if she went with you voluntarily, but if not, you'll just have to drag her with you.
I think I'm going to enjoy it.
Don't get too excited. Margaret isn't to be harmed. Understand?
Of course.
When you get her, bring her here. Then we can decide what's next.
All right.
Don't forget, tomorrow at dawn.
Mother of God.
Good work, Henry. Now we have to act fast and sort out Nicholas. Are you all right?
Well, I can't say I feel too good about it, but what else can we do?
Believe me, it gives me no pleasure either. But there's no other way. Take this confession. Go to Nicholas and make him sign it.
What if he refuses?
You'll have to make him, one way or another.
I'm not complaining, but couldn't you go to...
Believe me, I'd rather not drag you into it at all. But if Nicholas sees me, he'll go straight for my throat before I get a word in.
I see. And what if he attacks me?
Then of course you'll have to defend yourself. If you knock some sense into him in a duel, all well and good, but don't forget we need him alive.
All right. I'll get to it.
Here's the document. Don't forget to tell him he should get the hell out of town.
Where would I find you?
I'll wait for you in the clearing. Be quick. I don't want to keep poor Margaret here any...
I understand.
What do you want?
I know where your wife is.
Speak, where is she?
Hannikin Hare is holding her captive.
How do you know that?
It makes no odds. Just listen to me.
What, you whoreson? Tell me where she is right now or you'll rue the day.
Bluster all you want, but if you ever want to see Margaret again, you better get a grip on yourself.
Where is she? Tell me!
Yeah, you scratch my back, and I'll scratch yours. Sign this parchment here, and I'll tell you what you want to know.
I, Nicholas Angel, do hereby confess... conspiracy against Sir Hannikin Hare? Just in proper punishment? What? You must be out of your fucking mind! Never!
Sign it if you cherish Margaret's life. I can't vouch for what Hare might do.
Hare's bluffing. He'd never harm Margaret.
I wouldn't be so sure. If you take a man's sweetheart, his home and his job, and leave him in the shadow of the gallows, you can't expect much mercy from him.
So, I have your word of honor,
I swear it. Neither Hare nor I...
There. Now tell me where...
There's an old mine gallery, a little to the south of here.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah. Ah! Yeah.
So, have you got it?
It's done.
Volunteer.
Yes. More or less.
Well, I'm glad it's been done without...
What now? Will you take the...
We'll go together. I need you to bear witness. I've been gone for years, and I'm not...
Well, I hope they do believe you. Otherwise, we're both for the new.
Don't worry. Divish won't forget our form. We'll wait until morning and then set...
Right.
Anakin Herod, I never expected to see you again.
It was the will of God that I returned.
You realize that Sir Henry of Lipa has never repealed his sentence against you. I'm duty-bound to arrest you and turn you over to the provincial court.
Perhaps. But will you read this first? Henry here is my witness that your master huntsman Nicholas signed it himself. This ought to change their minds.
It might. I'm sorry, Anakin. I always trusted you. But your guilt seemed irrefutable. Nicholas was very thorough. Oh, there's no doubting his own confession. Captain.
Yes, sir.
Have the Master Huntsman arrested.
That won't be necessary. I don't think they'll find him.
I understand. So, what's to be done with you now? Poaching and kidnapping the Master Huntsman's wife. You see my difficulty.
I know. I can't stay here. It's enough to know my name is cleared.
I'll have a letter drawn up to recommend you to the service of Sir Vincent at Vellish Castle.
Thank you, sir.
But if Nicholas has vanished and we're sending you to Vellish, then who's going to be my master hunter here?
There's one obvious candidate. Henry here. Help me bring Nicholas to justice. And he's no disgrace as a hunter.
Really? Well, what of it, young man?
I'm sorry, sir, but with my duties for Sir Radzig,
I understand. Well then, I shall just have to look elsewhere. Good luck to you, Hannigan.
Thank you, Henry. I could never have managed it without you. God willing, we'll meet again one day.
I've got something for you. I got them from Uncle Peshek.
They're locked.
True.
Wouldn't you like to take a stroll?
It's a bit late now. We'd be coming home.
How are you?
Will you teach me?
Certainly.
I want to.
You can.
Well, I hear you.
Certainly.
I want to.
You can't.
Well,
Good luck then. The Lord be.
I'd like to enroll.
Of course.
Longsword.
See you later.
Meeting face to face in this round.